We're talking Philly sports.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
And New York sports.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
And the unique history and relationship between the two cities. With Mike Carr.
You're so money and you don't even know it.
And Adam Turkel.
I agree. Nobody's madder about than I am. They're going to say that, and I'm going to look at them and say, hey, you're right.
This is the Battle for I-95 podcast, starting now.
All right, welcome to the Battle for I-95 podcast, brought to you by Easy Moving. Moving's hard enough, do it the easy way. Servicing Fairfield, Connecticut, and removal in New York. I am half your team, Adam the Happy Turkel, and my partner, after his 1 week hiatus, has returned home. The prodigal son has come back, Mr. Mike Carr. Welcome back to the show, Mikey. Mike? What? Wait. What are we doing? What the fuck? What are you showing me here? This is terrible. Oh my God. Well, all right. I guess that's where we're starting, Mike. You didn't say a fucking.
That was me. That's been me all day.
Yeah, I guess we. Well, Mike, just to bring you up to speed, last week when you weren't here, me and Frank did talk about the Yankees, the Phillies, the Mets a little bit, and at the time the Yankees had just come off the All-Star break and only split with Tampa, which is concerning because Tampa's not old Tampa. And splitting with them is, was like, oh, this is the same shit we've been going through for a month. And then they lose a really bad game to the Red Sox. And I'm like, oh, my God. But then they find it. They go win the next two against the Red Sox and win a series. And then it happens. I didn't go. I told Frank I wasn't going to a game this week because I didn't want to hear Philly fans shit. The Yankees were in a shitstorm. And I didn't want to go there on the day that they were going to get their asses kicked. But, that's really not the case of what
Ball
happened.
game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
And not only do the Yankees win, they take out the big bristles, right? They clean them up all nice. They take themselves out some little Jazz Chisholm and stick them in a lineup after a nice trade. And they extend the lineup. They get Giancarlo Stanton back. And all of a sudden, the Yankees look like the Yankees again. And they sweep your Stinkadelphia Stinkies. So, you're still in first place. You're in good shape. But I got a warning for you and your Philly fans. Beware of the Mets. Beware. I know they're 8.5 out still. It looks like a lifetime. But I'll tell you what, the way they're playing, and at one time, the Braves were 10 games up on them in the wild card. Now, all of a sudden, they're in the second spot in the wild card, and they're not that far behind you guys. And I don't even think the Mets are that great, to be honest with you. They have a really good lineup, but that the pitching is very suspect. But they're figuring it out. But meanwhile, it looks like the Yankees have righted themselves, and you're now feeling what I was feeling a couple of weeks ago. What the hell is going on with your Phillies, Mike?
I got a new driver. I-10 by TaylorMade.
That's a beautiful driver. I don't see
Beautiful.
any little Philly guys sitting on it or not. No Fanatic thing.
He's right. Hold on. I got to get the gist of it. Whoa, there he is. He's just watching my back right now because nobody else will. Including
Mike,
my fucking Facebook.
What? Bryce Harper 0 for 14.
Bryce Harper's not hitting. I think he went 0 for 16 after today. He's back to just fucking swinging first pitch. What do you want me to say? We're in a slump. You got All-Star break. It does it every goddamn time we start doing good. The fucking All-Star break. I don't want to talk about it.
You guys have.
I got a new driver.
I'm going to tell you something else. You guys have a jism problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Though, that
Chaz
guy,
jismed all over you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, all over my leg. But he, I mean, listen, I mean, he did everything with base run. He can't fucking base run for shit, can he?
Do I care when he's hitting 4 home runs in 3 games? Do I give a shit? You know? But listen, you know, the Yankees did have a scare, right?
Yeah.
Garrett Cole was supposed to start yesterday and didn't due to quote-unquote general body soreness, which, knowing how competitive Cole is.
Hold on a second. Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. What were you doing watching the game?
What do you mean?
Weren't you supposed to be working?
I'm a roll carrier, bro. I was home by the 2nd inning. What are you talking about? Come on. Who are you talking to here? I'm a roll carrier.
That's where my fucking tax dollars are going.
Yeah. You know, I'm a roll carrier. So I was done with the job. I was in the house by, 1 o'clock, 1:15, and away we go. I put on the game. Second I turn on, the Yankees are up 4-2 already. I'm like, oh, Judge must have hit a home run. But no, it's not Judge.
No, it's
Much to my shock, DJ LeMahieu.
Yeah,
with
who's that guy?
6 RBIs.
Isn't that the guy with the worst batting average, the worst batter on your team?
He hasn't hit a ball over 20 miles an hour since 2022. I mean, and he's hitting home runs, and then he hits a double in the gap to drive in another 2 after hitting a grand slam. And, listen, I'm not going to look the gift horse in the mouth. LeMahieu hasn't hit all year. Stanton was hurt. He's back. He had 2 singles. That just it lengthens the whole Yankee lineup. Adding Jazz Chisholm with getting Stanton back completely changes the Yankee lineup. It lengthens it all the way now. You're not going to see many more bums hitting first, like JD was hitting first or fourth rather, cleanup, and then some other clown I never heard of leading off DHing. That can't be happening, And Luis Heel, after Frank put the malarkey on him for a while. Thank God he's good enough to get rid of that scumbag stench, and he was able to get back to himself the last couple of starts. And my only concern now really is Garrett Cole, because no matter how good the Yankees, and you know this, Mike, in baseball, you're never as bad as you look on your worst day, and You're never as good as you look on your best day. You're probably somewhere in between that, right?
Right.
If they don't have Garrett Cole going into the playoffs, if this general body soreness that kept him from starting a game against the Phillies that I know he wanted to pitch, I'm concerned. I don't know if I could just go with the general body soreness thing. I know they're saying that's all it is, and he's going to throw a bullpen, and they're hoping he'll start this weekend. But that's right now, if I have 2 concerns for the Yankees. It's A, do I get real Garrett Cole back at any point? B, Clay Holmes couldn't close the door to a whorehouse after giving her $100.
Yeah.
And that's a problem for a good team.
Yeah.
I mean, when he came in the game yesterday, and, I couldn't believe he didn't blow it today. It surprised me. But when he came in the game yesterday and then he walks the first batter, I'm like, oh.
It's the death.
I'm like, oh, man. The first thing I'm thinking right off the bat. Here we go. I'm thinking that right away. And, he scares the hell out of me. And the Yankees made a couple of ancillary moves other than getting Chisholm.
Right.
Boy, that's a hard one to say, let me tell you.
Yeah.
That's fine. I've heard real announcers fuck that one up. So if I fuck it up, I don't feel bad. Right. So, but getting him and everything, that's all well and good. And they needed it in the lineup, and the lineup looks like it's back to itself. But man, you know how it is in the playoffs. It's not about your fucking lineup. It's about how do you pitch. That's what it comes down to in the playoffs. Superior pitching generally wins. And all of a sudden, your team, Zach Wheeler, looked terrible. Terrible.
Well, again, the fucking All-Star break. But, I mean, it's 162 games. They're going
of which we've now played over 100.
Yes, we played over 100. We're starting to come down the stretch. Let's get this out of our system right now. Okay? But not like lean on it like you guys fucking did for a few months. Okay?
We leaned on it. Listen, the Yankees for a period were 11-27.
Right now we're 12-10. 16.
And the Mets have had the best record in baseball since June 1st.
Right. So we right now as Phillies fans, you can't really hit the panic button. We just traded for Austin Hayes.
Right.
He looks great.
And I like that trade. I think it's a good trade
great
for the Phillies. Yeah.
You know, the wall's about 4 feet shorter. We're talking about a different ball game twice. But it's not.
And if my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a wagon. So,
right.
you know.
Yeah, and my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
That's right. So
I
you
get
don't
it.
know how that works.
I get it, but as that's showing good signs that we're on the right track. Now Bryce just has to get back to fucking playing baseball, man.
Is there a Bryce Harper problem, Mike? Is there? I mean,
we have a Bryce problem. We have a Bryce problem.
He looked terrible this whole series.
It's not completely his fault. There's something like I did tell you earlier in the season. Remember, I caught heat for it. I said Bryce Harper's iffy at first base.
I'm not talking about the defense.
No, but this is some of the reason. This is some of the reason why we're losing.
He looked terrible at the plate, Mike.
He is terrible at the plate right now.
He looked like he had no patience. He's swinging at the first pitch.
Swinging first pitch. Swinging at the bullshit in the dirt. They're just picking him apart. But he's got to get back to just putting bat on the ball. It's a slump buster he needs. Nice, ugly.
You need to play the Marlins. That's what you need a series against the Marlins.
No, I don't want to play the Marlins right now because you know what? They pulled that Miami broom out on us.
No, that won't hurt. That will leave bristles in your ass. Yeah, you don't want that. Well, you know, the Philly Yankee, again, this show is, you know, based on Philadelphia-New York relationship. And we only get to do Phillies Yankees once a year because they're in different leagues, right? So we get a couple of games, a little taste, but if this is a little preview of the World Series, I got to feel good about it.
Yeah, I mean, that game 1 was, oh, my God.
Oh, that was a bludgeoning. That was an absolute bludgeoning. That was, let's all hit home runs. Judge will hit 2.
I'm on my way to pool. I go and I pull up. I look. 4-2 in like the 3rd inning?
You guys had a position player.
Yeah.
Pitch the last inning.
Yep. We had.
That's
our backup catcher that plays dancing on my own.
That's not a good sign.
No, that's not a good sign.
No.
But man, he was throwing that 57-mile-an-hour heat, wasn't he?
You know, did you see what Chisholm did? He used Judge's bat to hit the home run because it was heavier. And he knew the guy was going to throw meatballs, so he picked up the freaking caveman club. And he hit it out.
I wonder how heavy his bat is.
It's got the guy is 6'8", 280 pounds. I think it has to be like a small tree.
Yeah, it's got to be around 40 to 50 ounces.
It's got to be. Has to be. Now,
like a club.
I can tell you back.
I don't know if there's a weight restriction. I would have to Google that.
I can tell you back in my playing days. When I say my playing days, my good days in high school and everything at that level, right?
Right.
That Dave Winfield gave me a bat when I was a younger kid. My mother's boss was Dave Winfield's lawyer/agent when he came to the Yankees. I always wanted to use that bat, but at first I couldn't because I was, too young. And everyone else was using aluminum. And by the time I was 13, I was like, you know what? I'm using this bat. I don't care. Mike, 13 years old, using a 38-ounce bat. Hit home runs all over the place with it, by the way. And then I had literally 2 incredible years. The bat broke.
Okay.
I was never the same. I don't know. Maybe it was in my mind more than anything. But that bat broke. I broke my home run ability. It just I wasn't hitting anymore. So, but I lean more to football anyway. But that's a long story. But anyway,
did you see Pete Rose's take on when you're in a slump?
No, I never saw that.
Oh my God, he made it sound so easy. He's like, you're
bet on your team.
Choke up.
You bet on your team. Is that what he said?
No, you don't say.
Oh, okay.
Come on, dude. Why you got to do that? The guy gave his life for baseball, and you are a scumbag. Anyway, Aaron Judge has different size bats. Obviously, they all do. Believe it or not,
depending on who's pitching, they use different bats depending on who the pitcher is.
You wouldn't. There has to be a restriction on it. I'm not going to say I'm a complete baseball illiterate on the rules, but definitely bat equipment.
The only restriction I know about with bats is the pine tar restriction.
Right.
where it can only go up as far as the top edge of the handle. That's other than that, I never followed like, is there a legal weight of a
Now
bat?
they have different lengths. They go from
Yes.
32 inches to 33 and a half,
Right.
going up at half an inch each time.
And you would think the bigger players like Judge probably use as long of a bat as they can get. So otherwise, it look like they're swinging a freaking toothpick.
Maybe he uses a shorter one.
Yeah, maybe.
Keep it compact. I don't
Speaking
know.
of shorter ones and compact, that's what the Phillies look like the short ones were stuck in there.
All right, listen.
Yeah, it didn't look good for you.
Take that pinstripes and shove it up your ass.
Hey, take a look at that right there. See that MY right there? It's
Yeah.
right there. It's right there. Right there. Understand.
Yeah, it stands for not your year.
But understand this. I still feel the same about this team. They're hot now. They're hitting.
Well, they're starting.
They're starting to hit now.
Somebody
And by
had
the way,
to come
I know
out
you
on
hate
top
when I
of
bring
this.
it up. I'm going to bring it up anyway.
God.
Aaron Judge's last 80 games, which is half a season,
Yes.
375, 35 home runs, and 87 RBIs in 80 games, half a season.
That's captain and coach too.
Dude, if he did not hit in March and April, the guy would probably have 50 already. I mean, what he's doing is unheard of. These numbers, he's only the second player ever to have over an 80-game span numbers like this. You know who the other one was? Babe Ruth, 3 times. That's it. Just him and the Babe. That is rarefied air. When you start being the only one in the category with Ruth to have an 80-game stretch like that, that is just, the man is just outrageous. The way he hits.
He's out of his mind right now.
He really is. He's unbelievable. And you got to see a little taste of it against the Phillies. And that's why I always tell you, I'm privileged to watch him all the time. No matter what's going on with the Yankees, I have to watch to see what Judge is doing because he's that good. He's that special to watch. So, well, I gave you a lot of beating here, and I feel a little bad of it.
Okay.
No, I really don't. I really don't. And we're going to bring in at this time Frankie Ravioli. Welcome back, Frank.
How we doing, fellas?
Hi, Frank. How are you? Okay, yeah.
Hi, Mike. Yeah, Mike. I heard you got a new golf club.
Something happened
I got
today.
a new driver. The QI.
Oh, there's a nice new.
From TaylorMade. Look at it.
Something happened today, Frank. Frank, you know what happened today, Frank? Something
very
important happened.
I do know what happened.
Do you?
And I was actually thinking, like,
Yankees win. Yankees win.
Yeah, that's what happened, Frank.
You off too. That's great.
All right, I was actually thinking, like, the last 2 days, like, what's this guy's name is Jazz Chisholm. What's the most famous Jazz? The only one I could think of was DJ Jazzy Jeff. So
And the
I guess
Utah
it was
Jazz.
DJ's. It was
Utah
DJ's day today. It was Jazz's day the 2 days before that, and maybe Kenny Pickett's middle name is Jeff. That's the only thing I can think of.
Wow.
First off, man.
Why are we going to Kenny Pickett? You're going to tag him on that already?
You
really?
miss him so much, don't you? Because
No, he really doesn't.
Yeah.
I really don't.
You miss that guy. You miss.
And this
him
is
more than
also
you
what I
miss
was thinking.
Tomlin every day.
Mike, you don't have to worry because Adam's going to get his when the Steelers trounce the Jets.
Yeah,
and I'll
okay.
get mine when the Eagles beat the Steelers. I'll get mine.
Hey, Mike, we're going to have a good year, Mike, because when the Steelers are 8-9, they lost to both the Jets and the Eagles. We're going to be laughing our asses off. So I'm not worried about.
Oh, now we're going to go 8-9. We're going to go 8-9, huh?
Yeah, you're going to go one
The
of
streak's-
then
the
you're gonna
streak's
fire
over?
Tomlin, and you're going to hire Adam Gase. Yeah.
Knock on wood now. When was the last time Pittsburgh won in Philadelphia?
Anyway,
Never.
Mike, the guy likes pitches up here.
Yeah.
Why is the guy
He likes-
pitching him up here? This long-haired freaky lefty who sucks throws in this meatball up here. He fucking deposited last night in about 480 down the right field line.
Yeah, so
And then you had like every chance to win an extra innings. You didn't.
you
The
did.
Yankees have a tailor-made double play to end the game, and the fucking second baseman, Bob
Yeah,
wouldn't
and then the
fucking.
Phillies load the bases and extras and can't even get a freaking run across. I mean,
Yeah, how'd the
But it's only
Pirates
one-
do, Frankie.
What?
How'd the Pirates do?
They play later.
well, Frank, real quick before we get into other things, obviously the Yankees now have won 5 in a row. They've got back to their winning ways after a month of misery. And, I obviously, how can you not love the Chisholm pickup? It's a great pickup, and Cashman seems to be good at getting position players. And I think what what Cashman realizes, and I think what other GMs need to realize, is you want to bring off a good player on a bad year on a bad team, because he's probably having a bad year because he's on a bad team and he's freaking miserable, right? So
Right.
Chisholm, who's a good player, wasn't having such a great year, comes to Yankee Stadium and comes to the Yankees team, and all of a sudden he's got all this energy again. He's all over the
He's
place.
reborn. He's reborn.
He's reborn. He's re-energized, and I think that's where Cashman does things well. I bang him enough for the things he doesn't do well, and I'll start with them not getting at least someone else able to close in the case that Clay Holmes implodes, which he does frequently. But that would be my only complaint about the trade deadline for the Yankees. Everyone wanted them to go get the starter, and they had to supposedly, Cashman denies it, had a deal in place to get the pitcher from Detroit, and they didn't like his medicals. So he ended up getting traded to the Dodgers. But I got to tell you, I don't think the Yankees needed the starter because Schmidt is coming back. Schmidt's going to be back. He's already throwing. I'm guessing within 2 weeks he's going to be back. And now they're going to have 6 pitchers, and someone's coming out of the rotation. Now, maybe this is outside the box. If there is, which I don't know, an innings restriction on Luis Heel, if he really can't go past a certain point, do you risk it by keeping him as a dominant starter and say bounce Nestor from the rotation and make him a long relief guy? Or do you do what they did to Mariano Rivera? Do you take that electric stuff and tell him, hey, in the postseason, go close games. Let's see what happens?
I wouldn't just close them. You got to do it before the playoffs.
No, I get
obviously.
that. You would work him up to it. You would get him some closing.
Right. I mean, I know what you're saying with that, and I don't think it's a bad option.
He's got the stuff for it.
He does have the stuff for it. Does he have the? It's a different mentality.
Right.
You're getting up every game. Yeah, you got to get up every game and throw. Like, you're not waiting 4 days to pitch again.
They would have to retrain his arm too, ready to go 2 out of 3 days. Things that he's not used to physically. I think mentally he can handle it. I think, as a matter of fact, he might embrace it. You have a chance to be the next Mariano Rivera.
Only problem with him is a little bit wild. He might, and you don't want your closer walking guys, just like
Clay Holmes
did today.
does too. But the difference
I know
is,
you need a guy that
Luis
just gets
Seal
some.
has swing and miss stuff. Holmes does.
True.
To me, that's the difference. Anyway, that's something to think of as we go along through the season. And the Phillies take a belly flop in Citizens Bank shithole as the Yankees walk in there and shit all over him, and the Fanatic leaves with a brown stain on his green. So that series is done. Mike, it was a pleasure doing business with you. Thank you very much. Come again next year. We'll be happy to see you in Yankee Stadium. Or if our 2 teams can somehow find their way to the October Classic, which, as we know, is no given guaranteed road for anybody with the current playoff structure. It's just somebody
with a winning record.
I actually agree. I used to get mad when I heard Cashman say that, but I actually agree with him. It is a crapshoot when you get in the playoffs, because if you get in and somebody has 2 hot pitchers, that's all it takes.
Yeah, you're up.
Especially 4 out of 7
series.
games. You're going to be good in every series. So it is a little bit of a crapshoot. It absolutely is, and we'll see if we get there. So baseball, there's only 60 games left. We're over 100 games through the season now. The Phillies have been in first place all year. The Braves and the Mets kind of hanging back there at 8.5, 9 games. The Mets, if you ask me, that's the threat, because that's the hot team. Braves have just kind of been meandering with their injuries. And I guess in the postseason, they're still a threat. I really don't see the Braves as a threat to come and try to take the division from you. I will say this, Mike. When you guys play the Mets again, if they sweep you, you're in trouble.
I agree.
You got to play them. You got to play them a lot too, right? Going down the stretch.
I think that like
this is
9
the
games
hardest part
left
of our
with them, right?
schedule right now.
Like 3 series.
9 games left with the Mets. 8 or 9 games left with the Mets. Yeah. So
and as your team, you want to just get a split 5-4, 4-5.
Now on the Philly side, they've pretty much owned the Mets the last few years.
Yeah.
So does that mental thing come into play? But baseball's weird now, man. It's not like it used to be.
It's a complete mental sport, and if they're not into it, like I said, if Harper's not hit, Harper's not playing just being Harper. The good Harper. Not the guy that you just saw the past couple of games.
Well, that was terrible, man.
Just closing his eyes and hoping a ball hits the bat, and maybe it'll be in the the 10th row, in the 500 level. I'm talking
his double play to end today's game was predictable. It was predictable.
Yeah,
outside low pitch, he tries to pull it, drives it into the ground, hits into a double play.
Anybody who's watching baseball would have thrown that pitch right in that spot, breaking ball.
Yep, home storm a sinker, low
it.
outside sinker. That's what it was, a low outside sinker. Yep.
Let's see who tries to pull this thing right into the fucking ground.
Yep.
And again, I caught a lot of heat. Guy defensively has been a liability over the past few weeks. Now,
I thought you said he was going to be a.
Speaking of liabilities, I am done with Gleyber Torres. Fucking done with him. I am so fucking done with him. I am so done with that lazy cocksucker, nonchalant motherfucker who wants to hot dog plays. He almost cost him the game again. Did you see the hard one hop ground ball that he tried to ole with his left hand instead of getting his body in front of it?
I was driving home.
Dude, it's get your body in front of it, knock it down, get the out at first.
Yeah.
Inning's over. Instead, you guys end up getting a fucking run out of it because he has to ole the ball. And I don't care that he's hitting again. He's hitting. Yay! He's going to cost us a game in the playoffs when we can't afford it because he's going to go ole, and the fucking ball is going to go flying by him, and it's going to turn to a 3-run inning against the assholes from Houston or something. And I'm going to have a stroke if that happens. I can't wait to the end of this year till they just not re-sign him. I know. I see their plan already. The plan is they're going to move Chisholm to second base next year. That's why they got him. He's going to be the second baseman. They're not going to re-sign Gleyber Torres. They're going to put all their financial assets towards Juan Soto. Everything that's being said is that they are going to match whatever the Mets try to do to get it. They intend to keep him regardless. If that's the case, we'll see.
Especially if you make a good playoff run.
Yeah.
You even make it to the ALCS and you fall short. You got to pay the guy.
I don't think that, like, how far they go matters to him. I think he's just going for the most money. But if all things are equal, and I'll tell you what scares me. What scares me is the Yankees go to Juan Soto and they say, okay, Juan, $52 million a year, 12 years, $500 whatever million dollars. He goes, okay, let me think about it. Steve Cohen calls him and says, Juan, take it or leave it, $60 million a year for 13. You can't walk out the room and have the offer still. You can't have the Yankees match me.
Middle of
That's what scares me.
540 over 10 years.
That's crazy, those numbers.
That's what scares me.
Is that the numbers they're talking about?
They're talking he's going to get at least 50 a year.
Like
now,
right
now, everyone thinks the Ohtani contract, right, is only $2 million. So that's just kind of what counts against the cap. If you break down his average number of what his contract is worth, it's $46 million a year. So it's going to exceed that. It's going to be 50. There's no avoiding that. It's going to be 50. And it's going to be at least 10 years because he's only 25 years old. So it's going to be 500 plus mil. Somewhere between 500 and 540 is what everyone's saying. But Stevie Cohen's worth $21 billion. And the Mets are the second citizen to the Yankees. So if the Yankees make him the right offer, even overpaying a little bit, we'll give you 52 for 10, 520. And Stevie gets him in an office and says, 600 for 10. Take it or leave it right now. You're going to lose him.
Yeah. But then he comes back in the NL East and gets...
That's a distinct possibility. And that's why the Yankees needed to be all in this year. And I'm still not sure they did go all in, like with their trade moves. I'm not so sure that, they did what they needed to do to really put themselves in a better position because of the closer situation, because of the uncertainty with Garrett Cole. The reason I wouldn't want another starting pitcher was not to make it crowded. It's because Garrett Cole has not looked like himself and now had general body
tightness. Yeah,
that worries me. I don't like that. So anyway, that's where we're at with baseball. The Astros are relevant again, by the way. I just want to tell us Yankee fans that don't think we're getting through the year without seeing them. That's not happening. We're going to have to play Baltimore and or Houston in the playoffs if we're going to go anywhere. That's just going to be part of the fucking deal. And if you want to be a champ, go beat a champ. I don't want to hear no excuses. Period. That's it. That's it. Kind of like you guys with the Dodgers. You know you're going to have to go through the Dodgers one way or another. If you're not going to beat them, you don't deserve to be there anyway. Right, Mike?
That's right. But put some respect on the Rangers. They won it last year, not Houston.
Rangers ain't doing shit. That was a one-hit wonder.
They won.
Yeah, they were like Milli Vanilli. They were Milli Vanilli.
I'll give you my wild card in the American League, the Royals. Watch out for the Royals.
All right.
I still think Baltimore's the next most dangerous team in the league.
Probably, but I'm just giving you a sleeper.
And Baltimore made some good moves too, by the way. You know, they got better at the trade deadline. So Baltimore's a problem for us. The Dodgers got better. Dodgers had a couple.
Yeah, and Dodgers were already good.
And Dodgers were already good, Mike. So that's your problem over there. You got yours, we got ours. We both got problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're talking about problems here, man.
Problems.
Uh-oh.
Lots of problems. Yeah. So, all right. So let's get to the next subject. All right. Real quick, we're just gonna gloss over the Olympics quick. Okay.
Sure.
All right. USA leading in the medal count.
As usual.
Not many golds, though.
Not
Only
gold,
4.
but overall medals.
Only 4,
Yes.
but they're only one behind in gold.
Right.
Right.
The swimming thing.
That one chick, Ledecky, she fucking crushed it again today, the 1500.
Yeah, Ledecky crushed it.
They showed the best times in that. She has the 20 best times.
Yeah,
it's insane
crazy.
how good she is in that.
It's
She's
crazy.
the GOAT.
And basketball, you know, after barely beating the Sudan in the preseason or what do you want to call it, exhibition matchup, goes out today and just beats the dog shit out of them just to kind of say, hey, yeah, guys, that was exhibition. This is real.
Yeah.
And smack them around.
What I didn't know was they have a 3-on-3 basketball.
Yes.
Also.
And the
And
US
Jimmer
sucks at it.
Fredette.
We
It's Jimmer
suck at
Fredette. Yeah.
Why do we
They
suck
lost
at
to
it?
Serbia.
I
They
don't
lost
get
to
it.
Serbia. They're playing somebody today, or they might have played already.
Yeah, we suck at the 3-on-3 thing for some reason. I don't understand it.
I didn't
You know?
even know there was a 3-on-3 in it.
I didn't
Yeah,
either
yeah.
until I heard Jimmer Fredette is playing on the team. The coach asked him to play.
It
But
can't be the same.
Mark Few is the assistant coach on the USA basketball team. So Gonzaga will have a gold medal. Just so you know.
Oh, here we go.
Go ahead, next.
The only way they're
All right, yeah. Right, yeah. Yeah, that's what I say about that. Gonzaga, proud coffee sponsor of the Turk for the last 4 years, as I proudly get my free Gonzaga coffee.
And what do we have? About 4 or 5 days until your boy Curtis throws?
Yes. Now,
So he'll throw by the next time we do a podcast.
you weren't here, Mike. I
No.
brought up Curtis Thompson of Florence, New Jersey, who was a childhood friend of my son, who I know since he was a little round guy running through everybody in football, right? And he is in the javelin throw. It is his second Olympics. He had a bad throw in the qualifier last time, stumbled a little bit, didn't get out of the qualifying round, was very disappointed. And Curtis will be throwing the preliminaries August 6th at 4:15 a.m. And then when he advances to the medal round, that'll be August 8th at 2:45 p.m., which I will be able to watch and I will be into. And like I said last week, I wish Curtis and all the American athletes the best of luck going forward. But I got a little extra something invested in Curtis emotionally, knowing the kid, knowing the kind of man he's become, knowing his parents, and financially. I put my money where my mouth was. I put money on Curtis to win the gold.
Okay.
So that's how much I believe in the kid. That
Did you tell Frankie not to touch it?
Frankie cannot mush it. He's not allowed to mush it. I'll break his
You know
leg.
what? You know what's funny, Adam? I looked at Parks. He's 25-1. Parks is a shithole with their fucking bets.
What a bad bet. Wow.
No, they're terrible with their bets. They lowball everything.
5,000.
No, I'm saying you got them at 50-1. They're 25-1 there.
Yeah.
It's a joke over there.
Well, I wonder if it's changing as it gets closer.
I don't think it's changing. I think Parks just
There's
drops everything.
So like when my old man was looking for his app to start using, when I was teaching him that you don't have to go to parks anymore, you can do it right from your seat. MGM always has like the craziest odds. Like there's always second to none over everybody else.
DraftKings odds are good too. And
DraftKings odds are good.
DraftKings are pretty good.
Yeah.
The problem with DraftKings is if you're a good bettor, which I'm not, they ban you. So all the good people like that actually win on the site, you can't bet. You can bet $50 a game. I've heard that from a lot of people. Yeah. They want the schmecks. They want the schleps like me that bet parlays and all that shit. and have fun
Huh.
with it.
Well, I got 2 bills on Curtis, so I'm looking at 10 grand if he wins gold. Now make me a happy man. And then this show will be brought to you by Turk. Yeah.
Cool. And then you can buy Frankie an iPad.
Yeah. Well, no, he can buy his own fucking iPad. Fuck him. So, all right. Well, that's a quick Olympic touch. We have a couple more things to go over real quick. Teams are in camp. NFL is here. I heard Aaron Rodgers' press conference today. Okay, so
Starting to feel better.
I think the guy I'm going to stick with. I think the guy's a tool. I'm also going to stay with this. He wants to fucking win, and they are practicing really hard. And him and Garrett Wilson are getting into it on the sideline. He's teaching. He's, you know what? I think he's going to have a good year if he stays healthy. I think the Jets are going to be a very good team, in spite of the crappiest coach in the NFL. I still think that they're going to be a very good team. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far in practice. I'm liking not just what I'm seeing, like you see the clips and the plays and this and that. I'm liking what I'm seeing from team attitude. They seem to be very motivated. They very much have this us against the world thing. Everyone thinks we're the same old Jets. We're going to stick it up everybody's ass, including the Steelers, Frank. We're going to stick it up everybody's ass. And, we're going to have a good big-time year. And we're going to win our division and this and that. And I'm starting to believe it, even in spite of Saleh, because I think that Rodgers, if properly motivated, which I think he is still going to be one of the best 5 quarterbacks in football. And with the roster he has, if he's one of the best 5 quarterbacks in football, there's no way the Jets don't win 12, 13 games. There's no way. So, but again, he can go out after 4 plays. I've seen that book already. I know how that can happen, right?
I did hear something this morning about Aaron Rodgers, and it was a good comparison. They talked about him on NFL Network. They said they compared him to Tony Soprano, basically saying like he's alpha male, doesn't want he actually wants people to come at him. And I guess Devontae Adams at one time, like they were playing the Cowboys, he missed him on a fade, and they come back to the huddle. He's getting the call for the play, and he's like, and Devontae's like, throw that same play again right now. And he was like, oh, okay. So he listened, threw it, touchdown, they win. And they're saying now that Garrett Wilson is doing that. Like, right. He wants somebody to come after him a little bit.
He wants them to challenge him. He wants them to take him to task because it makes him more competitive. It makes him better. And him and Garrett Wilson have really been going at it in practice, really fine-toothing things. And, I think we all know how talented Wilson is. And the guy's been...
Your lineup is good. I'm not going to say that you are.
And Wilson's been great with you playing quarterback, basically, right?
Yeah.
So now he gets a Hall of Fame quarterback, and you're talking the guy can have a monster season. And let's not forget Breece Hall and all the other weapons that they have. The team is good. And then we look over to the NFC side, and we have Kenny Pickett's Philadelphia Eagles.
Kenny Pickett's
Philadelphia. However,
listen,
I've heard Hurts looks really good.
Looks really good. But you know who's also looking really good?
Barkley.
Now, besides that, the defense. They're saying this could be one of the top defenses.
I don't think you can tell defense till they start playing games. And that includes
they're in pads now. That's when you can tell
they can
where
be in
the
pads all they
players
want.
are at. When the pads
they can be in pads all they want. They're not in death mode yet. Same thing with the Jets. The only difference is the Jets have a little track record for the last 2 years, and it's basically the same defense with the same guy running it. But you don't know, especially defensively, until they really start hitting, because when you really start hitting is when you start seeing who causes turnovers. And those are the game-changing things. Who's shutting down receivers and letting the pass rush get to the quarterback? Who's getting middle push and making everything uncomfortable and fucking up the whole world? Now, I happen to think that that's someplace where your Eagles are very strong is up the middle. They're very strong at middle linebacker. They're very strong at the defensive tackles. Overall, they're pretty good against the run, and that tends to make things difficult on teams. The question is are you guys going to be able to cover anybody? That's really what
now there's our segue. They got the rookie out there going against AJ himself, and he's doing really well. Also, I heard Bryce Huff is making a big change. He's starting to show that he might be able to be an every down pass rusher.
I told you he's a good player. He is a good player.
That's where last week I was posting on Wham. Vic Fangio goes, is he ready to play right now? No. But we're going to start working on him, and we're going to see how he is in a few weeks. And that worried me because of the money that we paid him.
And the Jets are supposedly this close to signing Reddick now, so that's almost done. That drama's almost over.
Wow.
Supposedly they got over an impasse, and they're very close to expecting a deal to be done within the next week and him to get in camp.
He was probably still waiting for Rodgers to get off his ass, too. I mean,
he wants his money, Mike. Let's keep it
he wants his money, but
or he probably doesn't want to practice. A lot of them, they don't want to practice.
That's true, too. I mean, when have they ever wanted to really get play?
Go ahead, do the practice.
You know what we got to do, yeah.
We're talking about practice, not a game.
That's what he said when he went to Solid.
That's what he's saying.
Go out there and die for.
They want me to go to training camp.
Every game like it's my last.
They never want to go to training camp.
We're talking
well,
about
when you're with
practice,
a new team,
man.
you should.
Absolutely.
You should definitely be at training camp. You're one of these.
At least get there a couple weeks in.
I side with the players to an extent with this. Their careers are only so long, right? And if he sees, just like if you saw in your profession, that people in his position that he thinks he's as good as, and has the numbers to show it, by the way, are making 25 plus mil a year, this is his first and only chance, only one, to make 25 mil a year. And if he plays right now for his 13 a year and he gets hurt, that jeopardizes his 25 a year. So, so I can't get on him for that.
No, numbers wise,
I get on the Jets for fucking it up, for not knowing this in advance, not handling this before camp. That's on you, Joe Douglas. That's on you, Joe Douglas.
Oh, there goes our Instagram account.
But that's not on Reddick. That's on Douglas. He made the trade. He knew what he was getting into. He fucking knew it, and he did it anyway. So now you got to make right, and you got to pay the fucking guy, right?
And Adam, how old is he about?
He's 31.
31?
He's going to be 31 during the season. He's 31. So, you know,
like
they
you said,
get him,
only time.
Got about 4 more years left, maybe.
Nowhere else to make
give
that
the guy
kind of
3
money.
years for 75, and let's call it a fucking day. You know, let's move on from this mess. And if you have a win now team, make the win now move. Your defense is short one thing. It has been forever. A full-blown edge rusher. Guess what Reddick is?
A full-blown edge rusher.
He's a full-blown edge rusher.
From Temple.
Yeah, the guy's a monster. Now let's talk about the non-Northeast team for a second. And I like this because this makes me chuckle. So the first day of practice, for some reason, Russell Wilson couldn't mill.
Yeah.
He couldn't mill. He said,
and the second day.
Let's move. Oh, my legs.
How's your leg soreness without going into your first practice?
I heard he pulled his hammy in the shower while he was scratching his nuts.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
he's so far up his ass.
So he went from the number 1 quarterback to 1A, and now I think Justin went to 1. I think Wilson might be number 2 right now. But then at practice today, they do a little run option.
Melee.
Justin runs it out, and Beanie Bishop, who didn't play last year, and Landon Roberts hit him late.
Perfect.
And the fucking lineman, the fucking Polynesian first-round pick, fucking knocks him, and they just start brawling. I like.
No, we suck.
This is almost as bad as when Donovan McNabb said, "I didn't know that it could end in a tie."
What the fuck?
You're hitting the quarterback in practice?
Right, just stay away from him. Don't even push him.
Practice.
The first day of training camp.
Because then they showed another play later where they were at the 5-yard line and he ran the option again, and no one went near him. Like, this play will work. Yeah, but the defenders are gonna actually hit him. Like they stayed away. They went by the goalpost.
Oh, that worked.
Yeah. Well, I now listen, Frank, you're in a really, really tough division. You know, I can't pull any punches. That's probably the toughest division in the NFL, top to bottom.
Absolutely.
You know, you're talking about the Ravens, who are infamous playoff chokers, but nonetheless, always a 12-win team. The much improved
Cincinnati's good.
I expect Deshaun Jackson to be better this year. I expect it.
Deshaun Watson.
Jesus Christ, Jackson. Yeah. Oh, my God. Time warp.
That was like a returning punch
That
against
was
the
an old man
Giants.
moment,
I
guys.
look like a star today.
I expect Watson to be better this year.
You want a week
Right.
off too, Turk?
And then we got Eminem coming in with the Bengals, right? Or Cody Rhodes, whatever you want to call him.
Cody Rhodes look like, yeah.
Cody Rhodes look alike with the Bengals, and he seems to be on a mission. So that's a very, very tough competitive division.
And you know what's weird is I know so many Steeler fans that love Russell Wilson. And then and they hate Justin. And then I know other ones that love Justin and can't stand Russell.
But this is what we don't know about the Steelers.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Are they even going to make the playoffs in that division, Frank? You can win 10 games in that division and not make the playoffs.
They don't have receivers right now. They got
None.
Pickens. And then the second round pick or third round pick, Roman Wilson, the one from Michigan, he's week to week. First practice, he got hurt.
Yeah.
It's like, well, because they were rumored to go after Ayuk. That was pretty much the only
Randall Cobb's available if you want him.
I don't want Randall Cobb. But then there's a lot of rumors about fucking, what's his name going? Miami.
Ayuk? Oh, I've heard Ayuk to the Steeler rumors.
No, I've heard that, yes. But and Ayuk loves Tomlin. Like his social media is all, he follows Tomlin, retweets what Tomlin writes.
And everyone seems to be positive that Devontae Adams is going to end up on the Jets. And but
I'm hearing a lot of Tyreek. Are you hearing Tyreek Hill them getting rid of him?
I don't listen. I don't know how they can. Yeah. I mean, the cap hit would be enormous. And you're really going to take away Tua's best target when you just gave Tua $55 million a year?
You throw that guy a 10-yard pass, he turns it into a 70-yard touchdown.
Yeah, unless somehow his relationship with Tua becomes bad and he becomes toxic, and we know how the diva receivers can become, right? Unless they get to that point, I don't see them ever moving him unless they go into a rebuild and they decide to clean out the roster, which would mean Tua's got to go too, So now my division, I still got Buffalo, who's good, but I think they're taking a little bit of a half step back. Mm-hmm. Miami's going to be good. New England's going to stink. And
they said it's Mac Jones 2.0. Oh, they're already worried about this kid.
Awesome. And with that being said, we're going to fall into a segment now. We had to skip it last week because some scumbag wasn't on the show.
Because I had to work? Oh, my God.
Wait, did our ratings go up since I was the lead host?
No, actually, we dropped by 2 people.
We dropped. I didn't get the promotion. God damn it!
Because this is the
his mom and his sister stopped watching, so that was 2 of our listeners.
East Brunswick, you were in my neck of the woods where I grew up. I was from Saraville.
Yeah. So we want to get to the NFC South. I believe was our next division, correct?
Right, and I believe Atlanta was minus 120.
There's the Saints are plus with the dead air.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. What's the other team? Tampa Bay was plus 320.
What the
Here we go.
fuck?
All right. Atlanta was minus 120. Saints are plus 340. Bucks are plus 320, and Carolina was 10-1.
Who wants to lead it off with the division winner?
I'll lead it off if you want.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Frankie.
Okay. Because I think you got 8 divisions. There's going to be upsets.
Now, everybody listens to bet against them. Everybody listens.
That's fine. Bet against me, but then take the chalk in every fucking one. That makes no sense. Like, there's 8 divisions. Someone's going to sneak in there. And what does Atlanta have? All right, they got Kirk Cousins now, but is he a proven winner? Nah.
They got a good receiving core.
I know, but
they have a defense that was top 10 last year.
I know, but they got a new coach, and they got we'll see what they do. But anyway, so if I'm getting 3-1, 3.5-1, I will take the Saints to win the division. Actually,
really,
that is my pick.
Mm-hmm. The Saints.
That's because he's.
And then my sleeper would be the Bucks.
He's trying to pick with the money.
Your sleeper's the Bucks.
My sleeper's the Bucks. I don't think the Falcons make the playoffs. So one of those 2 teams wins the division. Well, and then they open with the Steelers, so they're 0-1 right to begin with.
Your team sucks.
Atlanta. There we go.
Mike, what do you got, Mike? Let's see what you got now, okay?
All right. Well, I think I'm going to go with the Falcons to win. I'm going to jump on it because Kirk Cousins, maybe not a Super Bowl winner, but I mean the guy has proven to put up some numbers and take some teams
He's coming off an
Vital.
Achilles injury, though, Mike. He's coming off a serious Achilles injury.
That's all right. Listen, they got great doctors. He's not only.
So is your quarterback.
And he's not Aaron Rodgers.
He's not.
Oh, here we fucking go.
Oh, poor me. I'm a poor Jets fan. We won in 63 and haven't won since.
69, kiss my ass, all right?
There wasn't a Super Bowl in 63.
All right, so you're going to go with the chalk. You're going to go with the Falcons.
I'm going to go with the
And what's your
Falcons,
sleeper? Wait,
and my
Mike.
sleeper is going to be the Bucs.
Okay. So we're all going to disagree on this one because I'm actually a bigger fan of Baker Mayfield than most. And I think that he showed a lot of balls last year in the way he played, coming in to replace none other than the greatest quarterback in the history of football.
And the biggest cheater.
I think the head coach, who was terrible with the Jets, has evolved and become a much better coach than he used to be. Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles.
I think that their top 5 defense will once again be a top 5 defense. That's what Todd Bowles does. They have a dynamic receiver in Mike Evans. They can run the ball. I am taking Tampa Bay to win the division, albeit 9-8, 10-7. I don't think
that's all you need for that division.
I don't think anybody's running away with this division. So I think Tampa Bay, and I think the team that is probably going to get the wild card is probably going to be Atlanta. I think it's going to be Atlanta. Now, you may say that that's not a sleeper pick. To me, it kind of is because everybody thinks they're going to win a division. I don't think they're going to win a division. I could see 2 teams with 10 wins each. One, by tiebreaker winning the division. The other one ends up getting themselves the wild card. And that's the way.
No, I call that a sleeper pick. I think that's a fair pick.
That's a Turk Stradamus for you right there. Pow! That's where it is. So,
yeah, it's got to happen, though.
Everything I say happens. I'm not you.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm not you. My bets actually work. I think I'm something like 15-3 on this show as to where you're.
Well, I haven't made a bet in like a month. I haven't made a bet in like a month.
That's
Thank
the thing,
God.
though. Are you putting money?
Can't lose.
You got to put your money where your mouth is. Just because you make a pick and it's right, it's when you put the money on is when you mush it.
Absolutely.
Spoken
I'm
from
with
another
nobody. I'm
degenerate
Turk
gambler.
Stradamus. Yeah. So
It's easier in football season to do the bets. Like, you got, what are you going to bet, a baseball series? I mean, I could have bet the Yankees to sweep the Phillies. That would have been easy money, but I didn't do it.
Yeah, you know what? I hope you stub your pinky toe. How's that?
wow.
At least you got a new driver. It's good.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do
I
for
got a new
next
driver,
week.
guys.
Next week, fellas. Next week,
NFC North.
NFC North.
NFC North.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we finish with our last 3.
Yes. So we'll do the NFC North next week, and we will get
Can't
our
wait for
pick
that
there.
AFC North, baby.
And then we get to the big 3 divisions where we all have a vested interest to see if we're going to be a bunch of fucking homers or if we're actually going to make some legit picks. And if Frank picks the Steelers to win the division, he's a fucking homer because there's no way the Steelers are winning the division this year.
Steelers are 8-1 to win that division. They
It
are the
should
long
be
shot.
50-1. They should be 50-1.
Oh, stop. There's fucking 4 teams. How can you be 50-1?
Should
It
be
makes no
50
sense.
because you're that bad in the division. That's why.
Not if you always go 9-8. Then all you do is go like 12-5.
I know, everybody wins the division at 9-8. It happens all the time. Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's our NFL pick segment for divisions. And now, drum roll. Most underrated safeties in the NFL. You better come correct, boys. I did my research, and I think I've been smoking you the first couple of weeks on these. So I want to see what you guys bring to the table to match up with Turk Stradamus and his football knowledge, because I am sharper than a rock, baby. All right? We'll start this week with Mike. Since he wasn't here last week, he didn't care enough to be on the show. You can come with your fucking safety, pricko.
Well, mine's not underrated. I know you want it underrated, but when we originally hold on, before you start on me, when we originally talked about this, I said I wanted to put this out there, and I needed to put this out there.
And we put it out.
We're going to put it out there now. He's not underrated in any fact because he is a Hall of Famer. But
He's undrafted.
his name needs.
I didn't have to hear it. I muted him.
I can unmute myself.
You're back. I
So,
unmuted you.
as I was saying, his name needs some fucking respect put on it as one of the best safeties and one of the best free safeties to ever play the game. That's my boy right here, number 20, Brian fucking Dawkins. If I hear one more time how great Ed Reed was, okay, yeah, cool. He can make the interception.
Ed Reed was
Ed Reed, what
Ryan
about Troy
Dawkins
Polamalu?
changed the game.
Troy Polamalu.
What about
was
Polamalu?
Overrated.
Palmalu's overrated.
Overrated.
What?
Palmalu's overrated.
Wow.
Read my lips.
Over
Are you
fucking
kidding me?
rated.
Yeah.
How do I hang up?
Here. Yeah. Where's the here we go?
So wait, so you think Dawkins is underrated when
No, I'm listening.
Is Mike going?
I'm about to have a stroke.
why you
You about to go sideways
Because
soon?
I'm waiting for you to say but.
But listen, I got a lot of respect for Dawkins. I think that he was top, I'll say in the secondary in his era, top 5, top 10-ish of the whole league. All positions, DBs, cornerbacks, that includes strong safeties, free safeties.
Yes.
Top 10. The guy was a game impact player. I don't know if you can call him underrated though, Mike. I mean,
he's underrated on the GOAT scale.
he's not a GOAT though. He's not.
He is. He's the greatest
No, he's not.
safety
No, he's
to
not.
ever played a
It's not
game.
even close.
He played both. He played both free
couldn't shine
and
Ronnie
strong
Lott's left
safety.
nut. He couldn't shine Ronnie Lott's left nut. Stop saying
it.
he's the best.
Why?
He's
Because dude
not.
lost a finger. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Listen, Ronnie Lott, and I say this as someone who did not like those teams, was the most dangerous defensive back, maybe in the history of football. People were afraid to go over the middle when Ronnie Lott played.
Same thing with Brian Dawkins.
Not the same way as Ronnie Lott.
Satan's the
I'm telling you,
same
not the
way
same.
as Ronnie Lott.
Who's in the Hall of Fame?
This guy's been retired since I was in fucking diapers. Maybe not.
Listen, you didn't get to see
but-
Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott was.
Yeah, when did he retired? Early 90s, right?
Yeah, he played. He's one of those guys who played a little too long. After he left San
I don't know if he was even 90s. Was he 90s? He might have been 90s.
Yeah, he made it into the 90s. He played for the Jets in the
Okay.
early 90s. Yeah, which was a shadow of
What, does
himself.
everybody play their last year with the Jets?
Well, they got to get that last
What?
paycheck, yeah.
I
That
forgot
last
What the
it.
fuck
paycheck.
is that?
My
Yeah.
camera's reversed, so if I want to point, I got to go my left.
Yeah,
hand.
you gotta go like
I was going to
Yeah.
say, like, are you going
Am I right?
sideways soon?
At least
I'm
you didn't go
pointing at
sideways
you,
yet.
but
Yeah,
I'm
that's
actually
good.
pointing at you.
All right. So I'm actually going to do what Mike doesn't do, and I'm going to give you an actual underrated guy, right? And you know how you're going to know he's underrated? You're going to know he's underrated because I say so. Ready for this?
I can't believe you said fucking Troy is overrated. I'm going to have to fucking cry.
He is overrated.
Good cry.
Yeah, overrated my ass.
He was
Dude, I'll
very
fucking
good.
send you a I'll send you a highlight reel later,
Come
and you'll be
on.
like, "Holy shit,
Highlight
my
reel.
bad,
For his damn hair. It's his hair. Stop.
dude."
all you like.
Genius. He's a genius.
Yeah,
He's a
genius.
genius.
Okay,
So is
Dude, a
so
genius.
the
Nick
player
Foles
I'm
is
about
a
to bring
legit
up.
genius too.
The player I'm
God,
about to
let
bring
him-
up. Hey, shut up. The player I'm about to bring up
Go ahead.
was undrafted, and he started as a corner. And when he moved to safety, he was a better safety than he was corner. He played from 1981 to 1993. He was undrafted. He was a Super Bowl champion. He was a 3-time first-team All-Pro and a 4-time Pro Bowl selection, and somehow is not in the Hall of Fame. His name is Everson Walls. That's an underrated player.
Yeah, I don't even know who he is. When did he play?
I don't consider him underrated, but I know what you're saying. He is
81 to
in the.
93, undrafted.
Keep
Did he
going.
get drafted?
Come on, man. Like, gotta bring him a little bit closer to my.
93.
See, I grew up in that Steelers
93,
Cowboys
I
era.
was
We
in
played against
kindergarten.
Everson Walls.
93, what are you, 12? 93.
No, I was in kindergarten. 93.
I thought you were like a football historian. I thought you knew about football.
Yeah, I did. Until you started bringing up guys that fucking played in other helmets.
And Everson Walls played for your favorite team, too, the Cowboys.
Oh God! And now I know he's a piece of shit.
Yeah. But Everson Walls, was really a hell of a player. And when he moved to safety, it wasn't one of those moves where they move you to safety because you're old. It was a move of necessity because they had corners and they needed a safety. And he said, I'll do it. And what was he? He was just an all-pro at it. That's all he was. So to me, that's, again, part of the definition of overrated. And that is our overrated of the day. And
I didn't give you mine.
So Frankie doesn't get to do his.
No, Frankie doesn't matter because he already said Troy Polamalu. He can go fuck himself.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the stats on this too.
I was going to give
when
you.
we're ready.
I was going to give you Troy Polamalu's partner in crime,
All right, go.
Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark as my underrated guy.
That's
He was
underrated, Mike. That's actually a good underrated.
he was undrafted free agent with the Giants. Played there for a year.
That was one of my other choices. I was looking at him. He was one of them. Yeah.
And then he played, I think, for the Redskins for 2 years behind. And Sean Taylor was actually the strong safety.
Was the strong?
So he played some fucking good guys.
Yeah.
Then he signed a big contract with the Steelers for 4 years, and I think another 3. Won a ring with the Steelers. Might have been all pro 1 year. But when you're playing with Palomalo, who runs all over the field, you got to cover the whole fucking back end because you don't know what Troy's doing.
I'm going to give myself some props right now.
Oh, shocker.
In a few weeks of doing this segment, am I really the only guy that picks people that aren't on my team? Wow. Wow, Mike taking control of the soundboard, totally fucking me up with that. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I didn't know what to expect from that. That totally threw me off.
Wait. Didn't you pick Mark Gastineau and Freeman McNeil?
Yeah.
And you were talking about Lance Mel, and then you took the linebacker from the Jets? Bullshit.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I took Lance Mel.
Mark Gastineau.
I took Gastineau, which was legit. He should be in Hall of Fame.
Freeman McNeil.
Did I pick Freeman McNeil? I don't think I did. I think I mentioned McNeil.
As your running back?
Did I pick McNeil? I don't think I did.
And wasn't your linebacker or your outside linebacker the one that knocked out Drew Bledsoe?
No, I did not pick Mo Lewis.
No,
you talked about him. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't talk about
to pick him.
So you took a few Jets, so I don't want to hear it.
I did it every time. I said I'm only one.
I haven't done it every time.
Well, hold on. When I went off of the Eagles, you told me, look, this is a show about the New Yorker City. So you should have picked the Eagles, to keep it relevant. And then you haven't picked the Jets since. So, it's probably because your team was so uninteresting.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Yo, you got to cut your shit out of here. You get out of here now.
Up firing today.
I'm going to ban you from all these boards. Yeah, get the hell out of here with this shit with your Eagles.
After 3 weeks, the Jets are going to go,
Oh, no.
Wow. Wow. And if that happens,
3 weeks might be 3 minutes.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
Hey, Frank, you want to push a button?
I don't have a button.
You already pushed your buttons about the Phillies today. He's pushing up buttons. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
We got football tomorrow, huh? Hall of Fame game.
Hall of Fame game. Listen,
which no one's going to be playing in, so whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take it, whatever.
I'll watch the first quarter, and then I'll turn it on.
It's something, but it just shows us the beginning is here. We're right here now. It's coming upon us.
It's a taste.
And what's funny is I think all three of us have right to be hyped about our teams in one way or another. Frankie probably less than us because being serious.
You're a Jets fan.
Because of your division. I'm saying you less because of your division.
Do you understand that the Steelers always do well in their division? They beat those teams.
What was your record?
They usually beat the Ravens.
What was your
You
record?
have the Browns in your division. I want to hear
4-2.
What was your record last year?
10. They made the playoffs. 10-7.
Right. And what happened in that playoff game?
Well, their head coach can't fucking adjust for a fucking playoff game. I told you, he's not a good big game coach. We haven't done
Now,
it.
as far as my team, and I said this to you guys, I'm honest about it. My team's either going to be heaven or hell. I'm either going to be 13-4 or 4-13. There's no in between. So, if it implodes, it'll be a fucking nightmare. And if everything goes well, it'll be the best year I've had probably since '99. So, it has its potential. Obviously, the pitfall is I don't have Bill Parcells like I did in '99, so I don't have any confidence like that. Like when the Jets were good with Vinny Testaverde, I didn't feel bad going to the playoffs because Bill Parcells was the coach. I knew he wasn't going to give the game away.
I was going to ask you, why '99 instead of the Sanchez era?
I'm going to tell you why. Because the Sanchez era, they were lucky to get in the playoffs both years.
Because they lost to Pittsburgh.
They were wild cards, right? And the first year they got in the playoffs was because the Colts sat Peyton Manning after the first quarter, and they beat the Colts. Otherwise, they don't get in the playoffs. Those are kind of unexpected wild card runs. In '99, it's '98. The Super Bowl was '99. Season '98, the Jets were 12-4. They won the division. They beat the shit out of the Jaguars in the playoffs. Should have won the Denver AFC Championship game. They were expected to win the Super Bowl the next year, but Vinny Testaverde did his Achilles on the first game of the year against New England, which ruined the Jets season. Sound familiar?
Denver game, they were up 10-0 at halftime.
They were up 10-0.
10-3?
They were up at the half. They were up 3-0. They scored a
Okay,
touchdown to make it 10-0 after the half. On the ensuing kickoff, right after they scored, the ball flew up in the air and the mile-high wind swirled it around and dropped it at midfield for some reason. Broncos started the ball midfield, went right in and scored. Broncos kicked the ball to the Jets, swirled up in the air, dropped down, and the Broncos recovered it. So,
Wow, the game changed on a dime. Okay.
Changed on a dime. It went from,
Gotcha.
oh my God, we're going to the Super Bowl, and it went from that to,
Oh, no.
Oh no! We suck again!
yeah, it went in sequence. What the fuck? Oh no, we suck again. So, and then we were all hyped for the next year, and the next year we fell on our faces when Vinny got hurt. And we really didn't. It's ironic. I told about the coaches. Parcells fucked that year up. That was his fault because he went with Rick Myra, who they traded for after Vinny got hurt, instead of trusting the backup quarterback, Ray Lucas, who was out of Rutgers and had been there and was tough.
Well, Rick Meyer, Notre Dame or Rutgers? Which one are you going with?
It's not even a matter of that. It's a matter of Myra had already failed with the Seahawks. He already looked like shit. He didn't look like a good player. And for some reason, Parcells was enamored with him and traded for him and got him. And they were 1-7 with Myra, or 1-8. Excuse me, 1-8 with Myra. And then Lucas plays the rest of the year, and they finish 8-8. Ray Lucas should have played all year. That's all there is to it. So, but that's another sad Jet story for another sad freaking time.
Yeah, we got to get the violin for when you start talking about sad.
Yeah. But you can't forget something, okay? This is important for you. I want you to remember this and always remember this every time you see my team.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Yeah, just remember that, and remember that going forward.
That's a quarterback catching a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I want you to remember that too.
A blind squirrel can get
we
did
we did something you guys couldn't do for a long time.
Well, we did it too.
Oh, when?
1969.
You beat them during the season.
69. We won a Super Bowl. We won a Super
69,
Bowl.
hilarious.
Yeah, we won.
Adam, what position are we doing next week?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna have some fun with next week. We're gonna have some fun. Most underrated quarterback. Let's go to the QBs, baby. Most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL.
Tommy Maddox.
Yo, that dude stunk.
XFL MVP.
He was great in the XFL. He was a
I remember watching the XFL.
Hey, he got hurt and Ben stepped in. The Wally Pipp. Boom.
So we'll do the quarterbacks next week, and that'll take us forward to that. And with that being said,
so wait, Mike. So if we're doing quarterbacks next week, Mike's going to say Joe Montana or Tom Brady. Which one?
I'm going to say Donovan McNabb.
He's going to say Donovan. He's going to say Kenny Pickles. Kenny Pickles. Most underrated quarterback. Yeah. His future starter. Well, you are going to have Kenny Pickles starting because Mekhi Becton's your left tackle. So it's just a matter of time before Hurts gets hurt. Trust me.
Mike, he threw up 10 times at their first practice.
Who did?
Mekhi Becton.
Mekhi Becton, your left tackle.
Oh, yeah.
You know where your left tackle played the last few years, right?
Left tackle.
You know where he played the last few years? What team he played for?
The goddamn Jets.
He played for the Jets, and when he was drafted, there were high hopes in his rookie year. He was really good. Hold on.
We got the Aussie. Okay.
Mekhi Becton's your starting left tackle. You know that, right?
Then where's what's his name going?
I think they're moving him to the right.
And then Lane Johnson's just
retired.
Lane Johnson didn't retire.
Who on the offensive line retired? The center retired.
Kelsey.
Kelsey retired. Okay.
Stay with me over there.
He's watching gymnastics yesterday.
I'm going to tell you why he's playing left tackle. Because according to him, it's the only position he can play.
Okay, so he sits on the bench, and maybe when we run like power left,
Hurts rolls right. He's looking downfield. Oh, he gets blindsided. Becton's on his ass watching the play.
Oh my God! It was the fourth play of the game. What are we going to do? Oh, our quarterback. Oh wait, that was the Jets.
Oh boy.
Oh, Jake.
Ball game over.
Jets. Fucking dork.
All right, guys.
Can I ask one question off topic real quick?
Last question, so I'm kicking you off. What?
Fine. Because we had this discussion before you got to work in the morning. Top 3 out of high school NBA players of all time. 1 and 2 are easy. Who's your third?
We got
Because
Kobe.
That is a
KG.
good question.
One's got to be LeBron,
And one's got to be
LeBron.
Kobe.
Kobe,
and two's got to be
KG,
Kobe.
LeBron.
Right. That's got to be Kobe.
And then
right.
what?
So
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, I would say Garnett.
he's up there. It could be Garnett. It could be who else came out of high school?
Darryl Dawkins.
Really?
No, there's another good one. There's another good one.
I mean, he was good. Detroit. Rasheed Wallace.
No, he went to North Carolina. No, he went to North Carolina.
Yeah,
He
didn't come out of high school. Who else came out of high school?
Press.
There was a bunch of them in that period.
There was one other good one. There was one other really good one.
Pierce played college, right? Paul Pierce played college.
Yeah, Paul Pierce played college.
Let's put it to a Google real quick. Go ahead, keep talking.
Well, nonetheless, we'll find out who that was. But in the meantime, Frankie, we're going to kick you off because we're running short on time, my brother. So,
Adios, guys.
Pleasure having you here once again. We will see you next week when we discuss these awesome topics and how the Yankees are soaring and the Phillies are falling to the Mets, and the Mets are coming up.
So next time we do this, Curtis will hopefully be going into the finals, or it should be the finals that night.
He should be going into it because Tuesday is the prelim.
Tomorrow's the 1st, so then the 8th is next Thursday. So the 7th, you said the 6th is
Oh, so the prelims, yeah, the 6th, right. The 6th is Tuesday.
So we'll know if he's going to be in the medal round.
We'll know if he's in the medal round. Right.
Well, go Curtis. Go Steelers. Go Yankees.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.
Hasta la
next
vista,
week.
Frankie.
See you
Get out
guys.
of here, you bum. All right.
All right, real quick. Kwame Brown drafted in 2001. LeBron James, 2003. Dwight Howard.
That's a good one. Dwight
Amari
Howard.
Stoudemire.
Oh, no, that's probably it. That's probably
Kevin
it.
Garnett, and then Kobe Bryant. Those were all
I would say before he
in
hurt
that
his
2000s
knees, number 3 was probably Stoudemire. Because
Yeah.
until he blew his knee out, he was becoming that man in the league.
Yeah.
Now, Garnett had a longer career, better overall numbers because he went to the Celtics. He won some championships. So people will say Garnett, but I know a lot of people forget how good Amari Stoudemire was with Phoenix before he got hurt. Amari was
I think Garnett only
outrageous.
won that one championship, but
right.
they were
And then, of course, he played
that
for
was
the
the
Knicks.
start of the new Big Three era.
Right.
Where everybody they knew they had to go get 2 other stars with whatever star that they had. It was because of them guys.
Right.
So yes, I will absolutely put Amari Stoudemire in that.
Yeah, Stoudemire was a great player, and we didn't really touch any NBA. There's not much to talk about other than we've already done. We know what your team is. They re-signed Precious Achua. What the hell am I talking about?
I don't know. I was
Oh, my God. What happens?
Or the CTA.
No, well, it could be. I ran to a fire hydrant head first once, so that's possible. I ever told you that?
No.
Playing street ball, I dove head first for a ball. We were playing against our neighboring block, and it was 4th down. I was diving for the ball, and I didn't care, and I dove head first into a fire hydrant. Knocked myself out cold. Held the rock, though, baby.
Woke up with the ball in your
I
hand.
woke up with the ball in my arms, held the ball, got the first down. And back in that time, it was you just got a ring or you're okay, and I kept playing. So
Yeah, right. Yeah.
a little different
Gotta
time.
go.
But Mike, this was fun. It was good
Yeah.
to get you back out here again. We missed you last week.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm gonna fix this up. Like, hopefully, it'll look like yours a bit next week. And this was like, I got a new driver.
I saw that. Yeah, you got a new driver. Yeah, you got a new driver, but the Phillies ain't driving nowhere right now. You got
Not right now. Look, man. Again, long season. I understand where we're at in the season, and we're plummeting now. It's like
You just can't have a month in August like
No.
the Yankees had in June.
No. We got to start picking it up, and it's got to happen soon.
Yeah.
It's going to start with winning. 2 out of 3. You got to start with a 2 out of 3.
Beware of the Mets.
I'm not fucking scared of them.
I'm not saying be scared. I'm saying
honestly,
beware of them.
like how many of the guys from the Braves are out for just the season, could potentially come back in the playoffs.
No, they lost like their best pitcher's gone for the year.
Yeah, their best pitcher's going. But again, all you need is just a little spark.
Braves are going to be in the playoffs, Mike. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Yes, they're going to be in the playoffs. And with 2 wins, if they win and sweep that first round, and the way this stupid playoff structure is, what if we end up having to play them with 2 wins coming into the next series?
It's important to not play in that wild card round if you can avoid it, because that's an anything goes round. The favorite is not necessarily going to win that round.
No, but right, but it's also proven that week off can kill you.
Timing wise, yeah. So, which do you have? You know, which is the lesser of the 2 evils?
You're right. It's like, yeah, you're one step closer, you know, but at the same time, you can pick up a little momentum if you win 2 in a row.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. And then next week when we do the show, the Hall of Fame game will be past us. We'll be heading to the first real week of preseason, and we'll start getting a look at our teams and, you know, getting hype about what we think they could do and this and that. And, you know, we're getting to the busy time of sports. It's coming real soon.
Mm-hmm.
So next week we got our segments. We'll do our thing. I want to ask everybody to please like and subscribe our crappy show. We need all the help we
can. Say something you like. Say something you don't like. Troll. Give me something.
Troll us. Do something. Somehow show us you're listening. Something.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like we automatically get 3 views every week. Me, you, Frankie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. At least we know we get that. So,
yeah.
You know, Mike, it's been fun, Mike.
Yep.
And once again, we were brought to you by Easy Moving and Storage. Moving in whatever. Yeah. And they service Fairfield, Connecticut, and they do removal in New York. It was moving and removal. What the hell's wrong with me? Forgive me, Ezra. Ezra's a good guy. And we will see you next week. Same bad time, bad channel on the Battle for I-95 podcast. Everybody, enjoy your week. Go Yanks.
EA Sports, count your fucking days. That fucking game stinks.